The mother remembers. And he defined mindfulness and meditation. He made another statement. Okay, now everyone is mute so that I can. So he told us that when your mind will never forget your true nature, the way the mother never forgets her son, you live in meditation, you live in mindfulness, and you live into that awakened state. And at that time, almost now it is 35, 40 years, we started the journey. So today's topic is the journey of mindfulness by a seeker. By a seeker. So we have to understand what is mindfulness, why the West is more attracted by the word mindfulness and also meditation, but more attracted by the mindfulness. And why people differentiate this mindfulness from meditation. Then we will also understand a seeker, who is a seeker who always succeeds in meditation. And then we will have a very brief session, maybe 5-10 minutes, based on the teachings of Ashtavakra. My master, he always spoke that Vedas, Upanishads, Sutras, Samhitas, Tantra, Granthas are the body of a knowledge. So this body of knowledge, I say Eastern wisdom. Any teacher, the teachers, our great masters, whether it is Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, Sri Aurobindo, they always referred the teachings of the great masters in order to explain whether it is meditation or any subject. And that is what I call it as an Eastern wisdom, as the body of a knowledge. I need not to add anything. So I'm passing on that tradition and making this presentation. Atma Brahmeti. Atma Brahmeti Vakyarthe Nisheshena Vicharite. That is from the Panchadashi of Shankaracharya. He says, by a thorough analysis, through my intellect, I must understand the principles. What principles are laid down to understand and practice meditation or mindfulness? For example, and by a constant contemplation and reflection, the intellect is clear now. There is a clarity, there is a conviction in the intellect. So what will happen? That intellect which is clear will inspire me to go for the practice. And then I will succeed. Can I put in a single word? I don't know, let me know it. Somebody asked me a question how to incorporate yoga in life. We have to follow these 3 steps. What is the first step? I don't know, let me know it. Second is, now I know the principle as it is, but I don't understand it. So we have more than 3,000 texts. That includes the great commentaries I was just referring. How to understand the Yoga Sutra? From a modern scientist? Answer is no. From a commentator who commented on the Yoga Sutra like Vyasa, Vachaspati Mishra, Bhoj, and more than 32 great commentators. So, what is the first step? I don't know. Let me know it. So, let me know the principle as it is. Can I repeat the same principle as it is? Wonderful. Second step is let me understand it. How to understand? Ask the question. It is not based on belief, it is based on clear and thorough analysis and understanding. That is why we say Yoga Sutras are like formulas, like chemistry formulas. So, second step is I don't understand, let me understand it. So, now you understand it. So, what is left? I don't experience. So, let me practice it. Okay, I practice mindfulness or meditation from different teachers, but I still don't find that change. So that comes the fourth step. We have to continue to practice until the change starts happening, not during the meditation, but that state of meditation remains as it is in the midst of all the activities of our life. So, what happens? When that change happens, what is that change? That change is in the mind changes the brain. When the brain changes, it changes our attitude and behavior. When attitude and behavior changes, it changes our personality, means my personal life, my professional life, my social life. And when that changes, what happens? That is known as awakening. So, journey of a seeker in the mindfulness. Now, there are, to give you a brief, that what is this mindfulness? From where the word mindfulness has come. And it has taken the West like a storm. Everyone says mindfulness eating, breath mindfulness. They use mindfulness in everything, from where the word mindfulness has come. In European languages, we have the word mindfulness. It also existed in English language. Mindfulness also existed in French language. So, what it means by mindfulness, it has come from the mind to mindful, Latin word. So, it literally means to recollect, to remember, to perceive, be careful about. But how it is related to meditation and mindfulness? Mindfulness also means a good memory of recollecting something or someone. To brief you, it's a long journey, but I'll just like to brief you. There was a great scholar of Pali language whose name is Thomas William. long back in 1860 or 1865. He translated the Eightfold Noble Path of Buddhism, and he used the word mindfulness. But now question comes, is mindfulness different from meditation? You come here in the West and there is a wrong notion prevalent. They will say, yes, we know how it is different. So their understanding is based on the current modern literature. But from where the mindfulness and meditation has come? From the Eastern wisdom, from the 3,000 texts we have passed on to us by our great masters. So we have to go to the origin of it. But anyhow, what happened? In 18, later there was a person, Daniel John Gingerly. He said, he said, when Thomas William David used the word mindfulness, he meant it is correct meditation. I'm not saying anything. I just gave you a reference how the word mindfulness has become popular in the West, and they started differentiating from the meditation. So mindfulness or meditation, whether you say mindfulness or meditation, it is meditation.
Sir, now we will do yoga.
We are already doing yoga. So that is very clear. One thing to tell you simple, I have more than 1,000 audio practices that anyone can download. So should I say that there are 1,000 meditation practices? The answer is no. Meditation or mindfulness is exactly only one. But it is personalized and customized depending on the temperament and the group of the people in ancient time. So when it is personalized, it is considered as a different yoga practice, different meditation practice, different mindfulness practice. One of the greatest result of the mindfulness or meditation is, what is that? Oh, we can refer our Krishna or Shiva, both are the originators and founders of this yoga discipline. So in Gita, Krishna says, Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjayah siddha siddhayo samo bhutva samatvam yoguchyati. Can I enter into the equanimity of the mind? What is that equanimity of the mind? It is an evolved mind which is not affected by the likes and dislikes, pain and the pleasure. It is happening in the body, but I'm not affected. It is not affected by the profit-and-loss. Siddhayo samo bhutva samatvam yoguchyate. So can we say that the meditation and mindfulness evolves our mind to the next higher stage? What is the next higher stage? The mind is constantly subjected to the likes, dislikes, pain, and the pleasure. Even we have lived with our honey for 20 years, and he or she says something, the mind is affected. we become a soulmate, and after a few years, we become a sourmate. We become happy to marry, and we also become happy to divorce. The goal is the permanent state of happiness. I cannot be happy by being unhappy. We all are the seekers of permanent state of happiness, not the short-lived pleasure. So now follow the simple principle. I don't know the principle. Let me simply put it, moving the mind within, living within, and awakening within leads us to any meditation practice. How to achieve that? We have to move the mind within. How to do that? And there are hundreds of steps related to that. So I will translate one verse into a simple practice. So let me explain let me refer that verse from Ashtavakra Gita. How the knowledge is attained. The Janaka asked, how to achieve that state of dispassion in order to be into the state of meditation. Ashtavakra says, Yadi deham prathakratya chiti vishramya tishtasi. First line of the verse. Yadi deham prathakratya. What it means? If I move the mind within, that also happens in deep sleep, then what happens? Are you aware of the body? No. But in meditation, what happens? You are aware of the body and you are still away from the body. That is what he means. Yadi deham prathakratya chiti vishramyatisthasi. And if you allow the mind to continue to live within chitti vishramyatisthasi, and he blows our mind. In the next verse, he says, Adhunaiva sukhi shantohu. I can be in peace and happiness here and now. And if I continue the journey of meditation or mindfulness, what happens? The last fourth part of the verse, Bandha Mukto Bhavishyasi. I can awaken to that state of mindfulness. So how to translate this verse into a practice? So there is not too much of time. So we'll spend only 10 minutes into the practice, and I'll translate that verse into the steps. Let us start. Somebody told me when we are going to do yoga, now we are going to do super yoga. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. Why we close our eyes? We close our eyes because we want to go beyond sense perception. Sense perception gives me paroksha knowledge. I want aparoksha. The word I'm using from the same tradition. So eyes are closed. Now adjust your body. Align your body. You can sit, you can lie down in any position of the body. First, eyes are closed. Second is adjust and align the body. We need to prepare ourselves before we go into that state of mindfulness. So what is the first part of the preparation? Being comfortable. I will use only one part. So move the mind on the neck joint. Mind is moving on the neck joint. The body is not at all moving now. So when the mind moves on the neck joint, you feel the sensation. You are being comfortable. and experience the steadiness. You may miss it. Let me repeat the instruction. Move the mind on the shoulder joints. The mind is looking at the shoulder joints. You feel the sensation. You are feeling comfortable and experience steadiness. Move the mind on the hip joint. Feel the sensation, being comfortable and steadiness. The mind moves on the entire body, from the top of the head to the toes, to all the joints, and be comfortable. Sensation is there and steadiness. What we do when there is a storm outside, we rush inside the home and close the door. Now see in the first step. Move the mind on the head and the neck as if the mind is touching the head and the neck. When the mind is aware, attentive, you feel the sensation. And if the sensation continues, to experience the stillness also. It is better if you keep quiet, then it will give you some result. Move the mind on the right arm. In the beginning, we should do the practice in total awareness and a silence. That will bring the result. Can we mute all? Move the mind on the right arm. Be here and we experience and the stillness. Can we mute all? Move the mind on the left arm. Let me explain you rather than once you understand, you download that practice from me. So the first step, I just based on the teaching of my master, first we become comfortable in any practice. So when you become comfortable in any practice of meditation, which is a common step. The second is, as you are aware there is a storm outside, what you do, you rush inside the home and close the door. You don't fight with the storm. So what is the pointer here? When the Ashtavakra says yadi deham prathakratya, so the storm affects the body. So what we do, we move the mind within. We don't fight with the thoughts and the feeling and the sensation. Whatever the thoughts are coming, our goal is to move the mind within. You can do it in 2 steps, 3 steps, 5 steps, depending on your level of seeking and your mental temperament. And then What is the next step? Allow the mind. Chiti Vishramya Tishtasi. So once the mind leaves the body consciously, leaving the body in the state of sensation and steadiness or stillness, then the mind is aware of the inner space, or whether you say, whether it is a space or a blankness. Then what happens? In that state only, when we are aware of the breath, then the mind continues to live within. So when the mind continues to live within, how to help the mind continue to live within? That is what we say the breath mindfulness. Now there appears to be a total silence, so just eyes remain closed. Check that you are comfortable and the body is totally steady. Now follow the three-pointed awareness of the breath only for 2 minutes. You need not to focus on the breath. The moment you focus on the breath, it becomes a part of concentration. You will miss the practice. In the field of awareness, you look at the breath that is going in and out. You know the breath is going in and out. How do you know? Through your awareness. When the breath goes in and comes out, you feel the sensation of the breath inside the nose. What is the importance of breath awareness in mindfulness or meditation? You do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. So almost you are living into the state of doing nothing. Let me complete it, and then any meditation or mindfulness has two major steps. First major step, you use your personal effort. Why? Because the mind is living outside. Mind becomes crazy, sometimes lazy, sometimes obsessed. So the first major step is personal effort. And the second is effortlessness. You start, you live into the state of doing nothing. That helps to reveal our true nature. And what is our true nature? It is permanent peace and happiness. It's okay. Disturbances comes and goes. It's okay. So this is it. Now we can invite questions, Dr. Anjum. You can download one of the 1,000 practices on speaker.
Yes, sir, sure. So here, that was a thrilling and sensational session. There was little disturbance for that. I feel very sorry that we have missed those precious seconds even in between that mindfulness meditation. I would like our moderators, Dr. Ruby Mishra and Dr. Sunil Kayas, to go ahead with the questions what our participants are asking. Please.
I would request every participant they can raise their question on text. They can write their questions and on chat, and I will ask our speaker to answer them one by one. Thank you.
Okay, moderator will speak out the question. Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful.
One question: is there any fixed time for meditation, sir?
Simple answer: in the beginning, when you start meditation, your mind is not ready. So allow the mind to do the practice of meditation at a fixed time. It is something like driver teacher is with you while driving. And once you reach to a state, you don't need driver teacher, you can practice anytime.
Thank you so much, sir. And our next question is from Bhushan Monga. What should be the meals for good meditation, sir?
What is the?
What should be the meals for good meditation?
Meals for good meditation.
What should a person should eat for good meditation? Yeah, meals, food.
You see that if you go to our different texts and teachings of the great masters, they have a different answer depending on the level of a person who is meditating. Having said that, second part is more important. Meditation is a journey to self-discovery, the highest self, which is independent of anything and everything outside. That includes food also. Second answer. And third.
Thank you, sir.
Third, you have started meditating. If you are a beginner, have the sattvic food. Simple answer.
Next question is from Rakesh Katosh, and his question is how to stop the thought in our mind. How we can stop the thought in his mind? Sir.
My dear friend, whose question is how to stop thought. That is also a thought. How can you stop it? Did you understand the question? Did you understand my question? When you are asking me how to stop a thought, this is also a thought. Just drop this how to stop the thought, you will definitely be able to drop all the thoughts. In meditation, we a lot of noise. In meditation journey, okay, in the journey of meditation, you don't need to stop any thought. You need to separate yourself from that thought. Vivekananda used to say, step back from the thought. Can I give you a simple example? During the practice of meditation, it's okay. I always tell people, you are standing across a road watching the traffic. That traffic is your thinking and the thoughts. But you are different from these thoughts. When the mind within, realize these thoughts are separate from you. And you always get into that meditative state. Any more question, moderator?
Yes, sir. We do have a question from a faculty, Dr. Rakhi Saxena. how is meditation different from yoga nidra?
How is meditation from yoga nidra? Simple question again, simple answer coming from the Ashtavakra. When you move within, within, away from the sense perception, it is conscious rest and relaxation. It is shavasana. When the mind lays within, it is yoga nidra. When the same mind awakens to the highest nature, it becomes mindfulness and meditation. So yoga nidra is basically preparation to a higher journey, to the higher practice of meditation that is known as samadhi. That is known as samadhi. Why we say it is yoga nidra? In deep sleep, you are not aware of the body. In yoga nidra, the body is sleeping, but you are aware of it.
There is one more question.
Yes. Yes, what is that question?
One important question from Rahul Sharma, I think he must be a student. How yoga and meditation help in studies? Sir,
Yoga and meditation.
how they do help in studies?
Yoga and meditation, how they help in study.
Yeah.
Very interesting question, very beautiful, but if you like to follow it. Study means what? You want a focus. You want a retention power. You want a memory. You want that your mind should not wander. You want that your mind should not trouble your body also. Practice few asanas. What Patanjali says. That will make your body steady. Sthir sukham asanam. So body will not disturb you during the study. I can sit for 3.5 hours and 4 hours without any problem. Now it comes the wandering mind. The more relaxation practice you do, it will remove your wandering nature of the mind. You want a focus, practice meditation. It will give you not only the focus, the memory, and the retention power. Do you need all these? Practice yoga and meditation. It will help you in study.
Thank you so much, sir. One more important question from a bodybuilder, Mr. Vikas Singh Rawat. And his question is like that when he start doing yoga for 3-4 days, it feels very good. But after certain time, I feel bored and I again believe in weightlifting because he's a bodybuilder. So how to concentrate on yoga?
Those people who are obsessed with the drinking, they will definitely go to a liquor store. They will not go to a temple. So those who are habituated with anything that is coming from their subconscious and unconscious mind, which is known as vasanas. Vasana gives you that thought, and ultimately that thought rules your mind. That prompts you to act, to go back to your weightlifting. So I have to change my vasana. What is vasana? Thought, desire, and then vasana. I think about it, then I have a desire. Desire creates an impression. You see that. I write something on the paper in the front, and then I turn the page back. Do you see the impressions there? So if that impression is being repeated of any particular habit, is known as vasana. So what is the main thing to do to change the vasana? I should have a right thought that what exactly is yoga. Practice deep relaxation to change that mindset first. Then create a thought pertaining to the principles of yoga. What is that? Take it from Patanjali. What Patanjali says, the method of doing the asana. Are you doing the asana like a physical exercise system? It will not work. What Patanjali says, the method, prayatna shaithilyata ananta samapattibhyam. I have to move the mind while doing a physical asanas to the state of where I don't stretch too much, I don't lose too much so that I fall into sleep. The vasana will take over and you will go back to the weightlifting again. Second point, during that practice of the asana, your mind should be deeper inside. That is the meaning of ananta samapattibhyam, prayatna shaithilyata. In weightlifting, we increase our effort. What is the asana? Effortlessness, conscious. And the second part, mind is looking deep inside into the space. That will change your mind. Mind will change the habit, and habit will change the weightlifting. You will return to yoga.
Thank you so much, sir. And one very brilliant question from a very student. He is asking how to change past unconscious desires.
This
How
guy,
to change past unconscious desires.
I'm very happy that this gentleman, this young boy, knows all his unconscious desires. First, you say it is unconscious. Unconscious means that I don't know. It is below the conscious level, and still I claim that I know my unconscious desires. So don't deceive your mind, my friend. You need to tell me the thoughts that are coming to your mind. So we will create there, there the meditation is personalized. So we understand the particular thought pattern in your mind. What kind of a thought pattern? Either it is pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, or smriti. Out of the five, one group, I will analyze it. Second is, I will see the subjective states of the mind, whether your mind is living in wandering, mudha, the forgetfulness, or vikshipta state. These three states and four objective states causes these thoughts to come. By regular practice of meditation with a right intention will change those thoughts. But don't tell me that it is an unconscious desire. Unconscious means I don't know, but still you know it. So when you know it, it is desire, you know it is the thought pattern. Stop deceiving your mind.
One more interesting question. I don't know how many questions we can take and how the time will permit. And the
Dr. Kayas, only one or two questions more, because in USA it's night. And
I'm okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, it's from Shalini Sharma. She is asking, she is still confused when she do practicing mindfulness. How can it be a stage of zero thought?
How it
Repeat.
can be. Who is
Uh,
asking
uh,
the question? My own mind. Clear? First thing to understand, who is asking the question? My mind is asking the question that how can I have a zero thought? Clear? First thing. Now, what is mindfulness? In another way to understand, sense organs are an instrument of knowledge to see the world outside. Are you clear? First step. What are the second instrument of knowledge? It is the mind and the intellect are the second instrument of knowledge that creates concept and ideas to know the world outside. There the science has done the remarkable job. Clear? I'm repeating. Sense organs are the instruments of knowledge by which I can see this physical, beautiful world. Mind is the instrument of knowledge that gives me a deeper and clear understanding of the world the science has created. This is objective world. Eastern wisdom is an instrument of knowledge that discovers the highest state of mindfulness or meditation, which is beyond and behind the mind. So when I transcend the mind, will I have zero thought or 100 million thoughts? Doesn't matter. Who cares? I bypass it. I transcend it. Why I should work on zero thought? The mind can never have a zero thought. So we simply transcend the mind in any meditation and mindfulness. Are you getting it? It takes time to follow the journey.
And thank you so much, sir. And it's a last question. And
Okay.
actually, I could feel the practice you started that close your eyes and feel your neck, then joint, and then shoulder, and then hip joint. I could feel, and it was interesting, very fascinating. And my question is, how meditation can help to cure the corona disease? Is a pandemic situation. So, is there any relation? How can meditation help to cure such type of diseases? Is there any idea?
Very interesting question. But I will ask you a counter question. Can my eyes hear anything? Can my ears see anything? The answer is no.
No.
Corona disease happens at the physical level. Can we prevent it by different practices of yoga? The answer is big yes. Can we minimize the impact of coronavirus? The answer is big yes. But if I say coronavirus can be treated by yoga, that is wrong. I'm creating a wrong perception. On the other hand, if I can prevent myself, if I can minimize the impact, you do the practice of yoga, you raise your immunity. There are a lot of practices. Our great teachers and masters are very popular in India. So you already know it. Uh, Follow the balanced diet, Ayurvedic diet, measured diet to increase the immunity. You minimize the
And
impact, but don't create a wrong notion.
Mm-hmm.
Don't create a wrong notion and don't ask these questions,
Right.
which, which creates further misperception among people. It is more than 11 a.m., somebody wrote. Yes, I know that. Sunita Samadi, thank you, everybody. Yes,
Sir, hello.
Thank you, Dr. Kayas. It's already 11.
Yeah, yeah.
People are worried about sir
Thank you.
because it's time to sleep in USA. So, to summarize, I would like to guide people that it's a 40 years journey of Shri Girish Jhaji. The wisdom he has acquired is take immense uh, understanding, immense discipline, and hard work. So, to sum up with today's lecture, I think the first takeaway is from today onwards, what do you don't understand? Start, try to understand. Because randomly asking any question or making it more complicated, let's begin with to understand what do you want or really understand and who's asking a question. You are asking a question, so first jot down why you want to understand and what you want to understand. To continue, the second takeaway is from this lecture is for continue to practice until the change start happening, and that state of meditation should remain with you every time. Yoga is not limited only 30 or 40 or 60 minutes session. The yoga is a way of life, so it should remain with you all the time. That because sir is saying that when you practice, the brain changes. When brain changes, that changes your attitude and behavior. When attitude and behavior changes, it changes your personality in terms of your personal, professional, and social life, and that is the state of awakening. The next takeaway, what I understand, that move the mind within, because don't let it disturb, don't let it go outside. So allow your mind, once the body, leave the mind with steadiness and then it becomes calm. The fourth takeaway from this lecture, what I understand is, then we have become aware of the breathing. So that called a breath mindfulness. So slowly and steadily, you have to learn and practice because it is only you who can practice, not the questions and not the answers. And the fifth point, I would like to summarize that there are two major things: personal effort and effortlessness. The questions were still, the people were asking question, and it shows that still people are not clear that personal effort is one thing and being effortlessness is another thing what you need to acquire to reveal our true nature to become permanent in peace and happy. Thank you, Dr. Mr. Girish Chastra. I hope we have understood a little because a 40 years of journey cannot be covered in 40 minutes, I understand. But for that, yes, we pledge, we promise, we love yoga and we would like to learn every aspect of yoga for 40 years now onwards. Thank you, sir, for enlightening us and for sparing your precious time in this odd hours from your time zone. I must appreciate all your efforts. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir. Now, I would like to propose my vote of thanks to Shri Girish Jha sir, who has given us so valuable time, and all the speakers who have joined us for this inaugural session, all the participants across the world from different time zones, our principals, teachers, from the university, teachers from the school, students of any institution, coaches and trainers and yogacharyas from different yoga studios, and last but not least, our own principal, Dr. Rajiv Agarwal, who has a very different and vast vision for every activity and for every subject. Thank you, sir. Thank you all for joining us. Tomorrow's session is will be taken by Mr. Lalit Madan, and his topic is Foundation of Yoga. So, after seeing today's enthusiasm in the participants, I would like to begin this journey to reach where uh, to reach with a little level of Shri Girish Jhasa's level. We will start our journey from tomorrow with the foundation of yoga, and let's begin our first step. Thank you all, and see you all in tomorrow's session from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Sorry for little glitches in technical scenario, but we will try. Our IT team is working very hard to make all. They are doing all the efforts to make it live and smooth. Thank you once again. Namaskar from India.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.